Hey guys, welcome to the series here. I'm Sumit Paul from Dressosa Studios, and we're gonna look at how we can make an advanced enemy AI with Unreal Engine's in default artificial intelligence components, and we're gonna make a smart enemy that rolls, dodges, evades enemy attacks itself, and much more. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. For now, I'm gonna create a new folder called AI. In here, I'm gonna make another folder called tasks and another one called decorators, and another one called enemy, and alright, that's gonna be it. In the main folder, I'm gonna create a Blackboard, name it bb_enemy master. Another one, now I'm gonna create a behavior tree called bt_enemy master. Alright, once that's done, we're gonna save. Here, let's open the enemy master, and as you can see, this is basically the Blackboard UI. You can add keys to the Blackboard, such as this one. Now, I want to inform you guys that the Blackboard keys over here are all sorts of variable that you see in any basic blueprints. Now, what are these keys, or how do you use them? So the keys are mainly to store and use the variable itself. The keys are to use variables to store data and receive from it. Now once that's done, we're gonna open up our behavior tree enemy master, and as you can see, we already have our BB Blackboard of enemy master over here. Now in the main blueprint tab, we can see we have a root. So a root is basically the name behavior tree is pretty much self-explanatory. It's basically like a family tree, and the one thing we have, every blueprint or behavior tree will have in common is this root. So what a root does, a root is basically where the functions start from. Now after that, we have three main nodes. One is selector, another is sequence, and the last one is simple parallel. We're gonna jump to the simple parallel later on, but let's talk about selector and sequence. What selector does is, let's say we have different kinds of tasks or functions. Now what a selector does is, it's gonna check if there's any decorator on it. A decorator is basically a condition check, and a task is the function itself. Now if we have a decorator over here and it checks on something, and it's gonna point to any one of these three tasks or functions. And what a sequence does is, it's gonna play from left to right one by one. So if the root passes on the sequence, it's gonna play this one first, then this one, and then the last one. One thing to note again, guys, that is you can only have one output from root to any of these two, or a simple parallel, and the blueprint logic or the behavior tree logic always runs from the left to right and from top to bottom. Alright, now that's done, we can head out and make a simple enemy that follows us through the map. Now, before anything, we want to add a nav mesh bounce volume. Let's delete this one and create a new one. In your place actors tab, search for nav mesh, bring it in, scale it up, let's say 50. Let's size it down a little. Alright, let's have it like this. You can always preview the section where the AI can move with P. Alright, this is our total walkable area for the enemy AI, the part that is green. Now we're gonna work on the enemy itself. Right click on the enemies folder, get in and right click, create a blueprint class, and I'm gonna create a character blueprint. Name it bp_enemy master. Now once that's done, I'm gonna open it up and assign our skeletal meshes. Let's search for many, and I'm gonna use this SKM many. Set the location of z-axis to -89 and the rotation of z-axis to -90 so that we can perfectly orient to our character component. Now once this is done, we can head to our enemy and create a folder called animations, and here I'm gonna create an animation blueprint. Let's select SK mannequin. Yeah, this one. Name it ABP_enemy master. Save it all and select this one. Let's head to our enemy BP enemy master, and on the enemy class I'm gonna assign this to it beforehand so that we can straight up, you know, test. Now on the APP master, I'm gonna go to the event graph and bring out event initialize blueprint or event blueprint initialize animation. Here I'm gonna pass to BP enemy master, and the object will be our try get pawn owner. I'm gonna promote this to a variable and name it enemy master ref for reference. Next I'm gonna go ahead and bring out get movement component. No, not this one. Get character movement, yes. I'm gonna promote this one to a variable as well and name it character movement as it is. Alright, compile and save. Now on the event blueprint update animation, I'm gonna go ahead and take my character movement and search for get velocity. Should be at the bottom. Now normalize this to x and y. Make it vector length x and y. and then promote this to a variable called speed. We're gonna need this later on. Alright, once this is done, we almost have it completed. Now on the anim graph, I'm gonna create a new state machine, name it Locomotion, and from here I'm gonna create a cache and name this Locomotion so that we can use the cached pose later on. Here I'm gonna create a new state called idle and another state called walk/run, and we're gonna have this in both ways because this is gonna be interchangeable or reversible method. Now let's add the conditions. I'm gonna get the speed variable and check if this is greater or equal to 10. If this is greater than 10, then we can walk or go to the walk or run state. And the reverse state, I'm gonna bring the same variable and check this for less or equal than. If the speed is less or equal than 10, then we can go back to our idle animation. Alright, now that once that's done, in the idle, I'm going to search in our asset browser for an idle animation. I'm gonna bring out my mm_idle and hook it up. Let's make sure the idle plays in a loop. Alright, before we start anything, let's bring our Locomotion cached pose and also add a default slot to it. Alright, once this is done, we can see our character is in idle animation. Alright, so far so good. Now for the walk or run, I'm gonna go back to my AI folder and then enemy animation. Now I'm gonna create an animation, and from the legacy I'm gonna create a blank space 1D. Search for our skeleton called mannequin. We're gonna search for the same mannequin skeleton, name it bs1d_enemy master. Now I'm gonna open it up. Before we proceed to anything else, I'm gonna save all. Alright, once that's done, we're gonna go to our blank space 1D, name our horizontal axis as speed, and add a smooth timing of 0.5, and we're gonna leave the other fields as it is. Now I'm gonna search for mm_walk forward and add it here. Also, we're gonna set the maximum axis value to 500, as this will be our character's max walk speed. We're gonna set the walking speed to 300 and get an idle animation as well at the very end, and run forward for the run animation. Alright, once this is done, we're good to go. In the ABP master, on the walk or run state, I'm gonna hook our newly created BS1D and hook the speed variable to the blank space, and this should be it. Our event graph is set to, it's setting the animation or the speed variable, and we have our locomotion system as well. We can close this off, and in the enemy master we can see the idle animation is playing itself. Now it's time to bring our enemy in the world. Alright, let's test it out. Let's see if our enemy has its animations. Oh, let's fix this camera issue. In the enemy master, I'm gonna click on the mesh component and go to collision presets. Here it is, and search for the collision preset and set it to custom and ignore the camera. We're gonna do the same for capsule component. No collision, not a custom collision. Alright, from pawn to custom and ignore the camera. Alright. Alright, there's no camera interference. Let's now move on and create a blueprint class and search for AI controller. We have two other AI controller. Those are basically for human random, for human simulating some human random walking in the streets, and the grid path AI controller is for vehicles, basically, to run on the road randomly. Alright, on the AI controller, let's click create and name it AIC for AI controller enemy master. Oh, my bad. Let's save it up, and on the AI controller I'm gonna go to the event graph and search for on event on possess. Alright, from here we're gonna get a little bit of delay. You can always add a delay button with by pressing D and left clicking on it. Now the 0.2 is fine. Next we're gonna get the node run behavior tree and select our enemy master. Compile, save. Alright, this is it for this one. And on the behavior tree we're gonna go and select a sequence. First we're gonna do a basic move to AI. So I'm gonna create a new task. Go from the BT task blueprint base, go to our task folder, save there, name it btt underscore custom move to. Open it up. Now in here we're gonna create two very important nodes. One is receive execute AI, event receive execute AI, and another is finish execute. Alright, from here I'm gonna get a simple AI move to. Make sure you get the node such as with the window icon, because it has a bit more of execution nodes. Now we're gonna connect the finish execute on success and click the make the success variable to true. The pawn should be controlled pawn and the target actor is get player character. Alright, this should be it, and the acceptance radius is 100. Alright, from the sequence we're gonna get our BTT, our blueprint task of BTT custom move to. From here we're gonna play our animation. Oh, let's test it out. You can see the character is not moving. Let's debug this. Now from here, the pawn should be self. Oh, there's no self reference. Oh, wait. We have a few things to set up first. We're gonna head to PP Enemy Master in the class defaults. We're gonna go to AI controller and search for our newly made enemy AI. Hopefully this is gonna work now. Yep, this is working. We have our enemy following us. Let's do a few modifications. On the character movement, I'm gonna search for get max or max walk speed and edit that to 500. See, max walk speed, and we're gonna set it to 500 so we can outrun our enemy. Let's test it out. He's following us. He's no match for our speed. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oops. Next, we're gonna touch down on event blueprint interface and event dispatchers, and we're gonna create the attack system itself so that the enemy follows us and then attacks us. Hope you guys like it. Please like and subscribe, and see you guys soon.